Well, good day, owners, and welcome down once again to the Commission's Cave as we wrap up Week 12 action and set the sights on our final week of the regular season, Week 13. Give you a look at what the playoff picture looks like and the implications of the upcoming games on owners who are in the playoff hunt, as well as we'll take a look at the best players of this past weekend. First off, we'll throw out the disappointment to the Calgary Stampeders as the Henry Burris and the Red Blacks pulled off what no one thought was possible, and taking a losing record into the playoffs, made it all the way through and beat Stamps in the Grey Cup in a really good game, actually, even though cheering for the Stamps, an overtime loss there. Also, for myself, didn't fare too well on Saturday either, as Michigan Wolverines, Tom Brady's old alumni, and the university where my sister works, took a loss to their cross-state rival, Ohio State, and pretty much it looks like kicked them out of the playoff picture, drops them. Looks like the rankings come out tonight. They'll probably get fifth, which only the top four go through the playoff format for the national championship. So sorry to see that. And I was thinking, holy crap, it's going to be a three-peat disaster weekend as the Jets were making their way around New England there, and they were 10-10 at the half, and just not looking good. So unfortunately, New England pulled it off. The old Beardo screwed it up, so Patriots take the win. And so I got something out of this weekend. So I'd like to thank Huey Soggs, his friend Bryn, for coming out for Thursday Thanksgiving football. I think Todd showed up later after we'd left, and I know Stacy was planning on dropping in too, but after drinking beer since 11 in the morning till 6 at night and eating a big feed of turkey in there, both me and Mark were pretty bloated from the beer and sleepy from the food, and decided to pull the pin just after 6:30ish. So sorry about that if you were planning to come later, but kind of peaked a little too early in the day and didn't make it for the third game. Anyways, thanks for doing that, Mark, with me, and look forward to next year again as well. Hopefully the commission will be back at work by then and have to put that day off. So we'll jump right into the Week 12 wrap-up, and then we'll give you a look at the playoff picture and next week's lineups. So first game, we'll go with Tuscany Mayhem, headed into Monday Night Football against Forsyth Fockers, tied with only Focker's kicker in play. Unlike the Mayhem's kicker, who put up 0 points in his day on Sunday night, Forsyth's got 10 points from his kicker and took a 131.5 to a 141.5 win and secured his playoff spot in his rookie season. I got 21 points from Jonathan Stewart and from Willie Snead. Kirk Cousins put up 47 points on Thanksgiving, which was enough to hold me off. A surprising surge by my team on Sunday. Pretty much thought with Cousins' 47 points, I was done, and I'm pretty sure the Flockers did too. But surprisingly, the team rallied on Sunday and got us up to a tie going into Monday. I did leave 44 points on the bench with Trevor Simeon, and to tell you the truth, I never even looked at playing that guy. I just had him for a bye week. I think I picked him up and just kind of stuck him down there and didn't even look at that game. So once again, starting the wrong quarterback cost me a win. Game number 2, we see Steel Curtain rolled over, too tired, 145 to 109.5 to capture first place overall in the regular season and a bye into the second round of the playoffs. So congratulations to Steel Curtain. As he liked to say, he did it by going over both the Beisels there in weeks 11 and 12. Once again, the Curtain got 34 points from David Johnson, running back for Atlanta. For Arizona. And Aaron Rodgers put up 31 points on the losing side for Too Tired. Points left on the bench for Too Tired would have made this a close game, but it wouldn't have got him the win, unfortunately. Game number 3, the other Beisel. Jethro's Heroes continues to stumble towards the finish line This time losing to Missing Megatron's Johnson 155.5 to 167.5. As 155.5 was enough to have beaten everybody but Missing Megatron's Johnson and Lucas Kickers this week, so picked a bad week to get some good points against the number one scoring team again this week. So Missing Megatron's Johnson's 167.5 is this week's highest score, and he wins the last $10 of the season. And that's 2 in a row, which is having him peaking at the wrong part of the season. Emmanuel Sanders led the team with 34 points out of Denver, and Jethro once again was led by Drew Brees, who's probably the best pick of the keepers, with 45 points again. Game number 4, we saw MGM continue to feel the pain of his injury-ridden team as he fell 113 to 149 to Huey's Hogs. This loss crushed all chances of a playoff spot for MGM, while the Hogs put up some good points, but a little too late for him as well. MGM got 21 points out of Carson Palmer, while the Hogs were led by Antonio Brown with 32 points on the Thanksgiving Day game. Oh, this week's dog of the week. Mac Daddy put up this week's lowest score in a loss to the high-flying Lucas Kickers, 103.5 to 161. This 57.5 point margin will make this the dog of the week, as Mac Daddy never made a match out of this. 33 points for Mike Evans, Tampa Bay wide receiver, was the only highlight on his team, while Lucas was led by LaShawn McCoy. 34 points, and also her Giants D put up 24 points, so a nice one there. And Stace continues to rumble in the right direction heading into the playoffs. And our game of the week, we're going to go with not a high-scoring match, but with playoff spots on the line and Monday Night Football factored in into the win. Conley 108 loss to 114 to the Acadian Assassins made this match of the week. Conley came into Monday Night Football trailing by 15 points with a running back and a wide receiver to play. Unfortunately, his wide receiver, Jordan Matthews, got hurt halfway through the game, sealing the Crusaders' fate. Assassins bitching propelled Beckham Jr. to put up 27 points in the win, while the Crusaders got 25 points from the power runner Ezekiel Elliott. To give you a look at how the playoff picture looks right now, we can see that this week, Steel Curtain and Jethro as heroes would both sit with the buys. Steel Curtain would be in number 1 spot, Jethro number 2. And then we would see Lucas Kickers take on Forcey's Fockers in the 4 and 5 position. And Acadian Assassins, with their win over Conley's Crusaders, puts her in the 6th position, and at this point she would take on Mac Daddy's Madhouse. Now, to give you an idea how the playoff picture works, what we got: Steel Curtain has clinched the best regular season record. He's number 1 overall. He takes first place in the East, and he's guaranteed a bye into the second round of the playoffs, no matter the outcome of next week's game against Acadian Assassins. Jethro's Heroes wins first place in the West but if he loses and Mac Daddy wins, Mac Daddy would get the bye into the second round. Mac Daddy has guaranteed himself a playoff spot this year. A win and a Jethro loss gets him into a bye, so he could go through to the second round, and otherwise it'll be the top contender in the first round if he doesn't get the win. Forcey's Fockers, the record of 7 and 5 right now has guaranteed him a playoff spot, win or lose. So that's pretty good in his first year. So he's in. So really, down at the bottom here, the top 4 spots are locked. Lucas Kickers also sitting at 7-5, are behind Forcey's Fockers just because Forcey beat her in the regular season. And the only way for Stacy to lose out in the playoff spot is if the Assassins win and she loses to Conley's Crusaders by more than 53.5 points. That's if I'm understanding how the ESPN system works. She has a 53.5 point aggregate over Conley's Crusaders, so that's what the loss would have to be by. So pretty sure Stace's future in the playoffs is pretty stable. And the Acadian Assassins, who are holding on to 6th place right now, with a win over Steel Curtain this weekend coming up, she's in automatically. With a loss and a Connolly win, then the Assassins are out and the Crusaders are in. If the Assassins and Connolly both lose, the Assassins and Connolly both played each other twice and they've both won one. However, on the aggregate, the Acadian Assassins have a +2 point advantage. So once again, I'm understanding the ESPN system. That would get her into that 6th and final spot. The Connolly's Crusaders need to win next week, and they need the Acadian Assassins to lose. MGM and Huey's Hogs both have losses to the Acadian Assassins, so there is no way either can grab the last playoff spot. Missing Megatron's Johnson, Too Tired, and Tuscany Mayhem are totally out of the picture due to their horribly losing records. That is the playoff outlook, and players, the top 5 players of the week. Number 5 is Michael Thomas. He's a New Orleans Saints wide receiver. He was on Jethro's Heroes, put up 36 points in that game. Number 4, Colin Kaepernick. He is San Francisco's quarterback. Missing Megatron's Johnson had him on the bench for 43 points. Trevor Sinium, number 3, Denver's quarterback. Tuscany Mayhem bench, put up 44 points. Drew Brees, New Orleans quarterback, Jethro's Heroes, 45 points. And second week in a row, Kirk Cousins, Washington quarterback, Forces Fockers, started him over top of Eli Manning. Good move for him. 47 points for the number 1 player of the week. No running backs in the top 5. So our top running back this week was LaShawn McCoy for Buffalo. Lucas Kickers, we talked about him earlier, 34 points for him. Our tight end was Jordan Reed. He was for Missing Megatron's Johnson for Washington. He put up 31 points. Defensive player was Jason Pierre-Paul. Guy missing some fingers there from a fireworks explosion. He put up 30 points and was on waivers. His 30 points also helped put the defense special teams for the Giants. For Lucas Kickers for 25 points. And the number 1 kicker was Justin Tucker for Baltimore. MGM had him, and 19 points he put up as kicking, so not bad there. Okay, and looking in at next week's games, some are more important than others. Some have no impact at all on the outcome of the playoffs, so we'll get a little breakdown, tell you what I think is going to happen. Game number 1, we'll take the Jethro's Heroes at 8-4. Has his playoff spot locked in, but he can finish with the second best record and guarantee himself a bye in the second round of the playoffs. Standing away is Tuscany Mayhem at 3-9, who will try to play the spoiler and try to make it 4 losses in a row to end the season for Jethro. With Breeze hosting Detroit, the Mayhem will be in tough, and I'm going to take Jethro's Heroes over myself in that one. Game number 2, we'll say Huey's Hogs are 5-7. Can only play spoiler to Mac Daddy. He's sitting at 8-4. Mac Daddy tries to attempt a bye week into the playoffs as he hopes for a May victory over Jethro's Heroes, and then him getting the win over Huey's Hogs. This should be a really tight game with DeMarco Murray's on bye, and will Russell Wilson get the start and bounce back from a pretty bad game last week. And LeGarrette Blount will probably be tearing it up against the LA Rams. So a close one, but I think the edge goes to the Hogs, and I'll take Huey's Hogs in that one. Game number 3, we'll see Lucas Kickers really have to shit the bed on this one to follow to playoff contention. Conley is the only bump in the road for her. With him having to pull out a pretty big blowout, like we mentioned earlier, I think he needs 53.5 point victory over her to get the aggregate up to his favor. I don't see that happening. I'm going to take Lucas as she surged to the end. Should be the winner, and she should also be, I think, the one the other owners should be worried about in the playoff picture as the season wraps up next week. Game number 4, nothing on the line for this matchup but some pride. As Too Tired 3-9 takes on 4-8 Missing Megatron's Johnson. Missing has been on fire the last few weeks. Missing Megatron's Johnson has been on fire the last few weeks, putting up the 2 highest scores back to back. So look for him to extinguish the 2 tired in this one. I'm going to take the Missing Megatron's Johnson. Game number 5, another matchup with nothing on the line, as Forcey's Fokker 7-5 take on MGM at 5-7. MGM is on the outside looking in, while rookie owner Forcey's Fokkers have a hold on at least a playoff spot. Can Cousins continue to put up great fantasy numbers? And the injury ridden MGM will continue to slide, I think, so I'm going to take Forcey's Fokkers on the win on this one. Game number 6. We're going to call this the game of the week. It could turn out to be, this is a game I'll be watching closely as the Acadian Assassins take on the Steel Curtain. Steel Curtain is wrapped up first overall, but can still affect playoff outcomes for teams below him. Not wanting to rely on Lucas to stop the crusade, the Assassins hope to avenge her loss to the Steel Curtain in week 7 and pull out the win here in week 13. Will Derek Carr's dislocated pinky have an effect on the game? And who will start for Steel Curtain? And can Big Ben score big against the Giants? Well, Backham tries to put up points on the other side of the field for Acadian Assassins. This should be a close game, but I'm going to take Steel Curtain pulling off the victory. So like we mentioned, week 13 coming up. The Thursday Night Football game, you'll see the Cowboys taking on the Vikings. The Monday Night Football game, if it comes down to that, we'll see the Colts taking on the Jets. And unfortunately, there is 2 teams on bye this week. Cleveland and Tennessee, not very strong players on that, so we won't worry. Both on bye. There's no $10 payout this week. We've only paid in for 12 weeks, so that ended last week. And once again, congratulations to Missing Megatron's Johnson for picking it up. So good luck to everybody going in the last game of the season. Really has no effect on my side of the game, so we'll see how it works out for our other people in the playoff hunt. Good luck, and we'll talk to you again next week with our playoff outlook.